In the previous video, I did a review on a very small VOX amplifier, the VOX DA5 digital amp, in a very nice red vinyl. Continuing the theme of portable amplifiers along my journey back to playing and recording guitar, naturally you tend to come across all kinds of music gear, some of it well worth a look at, and other things, well, probably only you can answer that one. Hello viewer, my name's Stu. Please do check out the rest of my channel as it covers my return back to playing and recording guitar after a 40-year break. Lots of unboxing reviews as I've been searching for equipment that I'd be using in my recording projects. So once again, I'm going to take a look at another offering from the once iconic brand giant, and that being VOX Amplification. I mentioned in the previous video, VOX was founded in 1957 in Kent, England, but since 1992 it's now under Japanese ownership. So coming up, a quick review of these tiny little amplifiers that can fit in a top pocket. And number two, some quick tone tests given the wide range of effects that you can get from this tiny little box. And number three, my personal thoughts. Number four, conclusion, and my final remarks. So number one, the VOX AmpPlug Pocket Practice Amplifier. Well, there are a whole range of these available, and I personally have two model types here in my studio, and they were indeed a Christmas present from my wife. Very thoughtful, or perhaps a plan to keep things peaceful and quiet in the house. So first of all, I've got here the Blues model AP2BL. The AP stands for AmpPlug and the BL stands for Blues. And the other AmpPlug is the Clean model, AP2CL. The CL stands for Clean. Both are constructed of plastic and require two AAA batteries, which they can actually last a fair bit of time. Now I use rechargeable batteries as that tends to be the most cost-effective method of using products like this on a regular basis. Now the 1/4-inch jack plug is on a swivel mount, and this plugs directly into your guitar of choice. At the sides of the unit is a mini jack socket, and that's for a pair of headphones of your choosing. A closed pair of headphones are my preferred choice. That means that the earmuffs cover your ears fully as opposed to sitting on them loosely. You can also use an earplug style, which would certainly be easier to carry about. Now on the other side facing, there is an on-off button and an LED light that illuminates. Looking at the top, you have a push button for choosing up to 3 effects: chorus type effect, a delay, and reverb effects. The mini jack socket is an auxiliary input, so you can jam along with your smartphone, tablet, or MP3 player. The 3 control discs you have are gain, tone, and volume. And so number two, some quick tone tests. Now, given the size of these things and the need to plug a pair of earphones into them, I'm going to endeavour to give you a general idea of what you get. However, I have to say, no test review is going to mimic correctly the immersive experience that you get when you're wearing a set of closed headphones. So, I'm using a Fender Custom Shop 1950s Stratocaster in the neck pickup position. So number one, starting with the VOX Clean AmpPlug, with the volume dial up around 70% and turning the tone dial. You can hear how that sounds. And turning the gain dial. Chorus. delay, reverb effect, moving over to the VOX Blues AmpPlug for a more raunchy tone, now with the volume dial up around 70% and turning the tone dial, you can hear how that sounds. And turning the gain dial. Chorus. Reverb effect. And an echo effect. So number 3, my personal thoughts. When it comes to electric guitar practicing, without doubt playing through an amplifier is definitely better than playing the guitar acoustically, so to speak. And for those unsure about why I've said that, here's the reason. When you play through amplification, there's no room for error. If we're not fretting strings correctly, or perhaps a finger is gently muting a string that it shouldn't be, and or a string is resonating again when it shouldn't be, amplification is going to tell all. There is no hiding. When we play a solid body electric guitar acoustically, unless you have super sharp hearing, you really are not going to notice those kind of errors. Now, on top of that, when using an amplifier, we're learning the discipline of fretboard string control, and we develop our own personal tone. We become, if you will, one with the guitar, amplifier, and any effects being used. Playing acoustically is fine, and of course, it's just so convenient and easy to pick up your guitar and just play anywhere at any time without the need to drag an amplifier about. And that is where these little AmpPlug products certainly come into their own. Now, I've had these for a couple of years and I've not had any problems with them, but I should say I don't use them as often as probably I should, which leads me to my conclusion. Number 4, final thoughts. As always, no one paid me to mention any of the products here, just my opinions. Now, there are a number of these products available from various manufacturers. Some of them can be recharged via USB outlet instead of batteries. Now, while recharging is very convenient that way, with that model type, if you're in the middle of nowhere, then having a handful of batteries is probably going to be more practical. So why don't I use them that often? Well, perhaps a number of reasons. Number 1, I hate wearing headphones. I just don't like it. It might be that I've been wearing headphones for decades as a multimedia editor, long hours, 5 to 6 days a week. So again, I don't like headphones. Number 2, I do prefer to play through my amplifier of choice, which I use in my studio recordings, because after all, those of you who have followed my journey, it's taken me a while to nail the tones that I've been looking for. And of course, this is the best way to hone my understanding of the tones I want to achieve for recording. So number 3, I often have a guitar in my lounge, and I'll grab a hold of it and I'll practice finger exercises while just catching up on the news. So of course, I don't want headphones covering my ears. Number 4, and probably lastly, simply, I can't be bothered faffing around with things. Simplicity and convenience, I think for many folks, gadgets like these, they often start out as something that looks like it's going to be useful, but ends up in a drawer somewhere in the house. However, am I happy to have at least one? I'll say yes, definitely. I think I prefer the Blues model because it does give me a valve overdrive crunch sort of tone sound out of it. So reasons why I do keep these. On occasion, if I go away somewhere, I can take an electric guitar, but not an amplifier, then it's easy to stick this in my pocket. Most certainly, I have found it very useful when purchasing a used guitar from a private seller. I was able to do a quick test of the instrument, which was in a busy car park of a motorway service station, and I was able to certainly put my mind at rest that everything worked well. Now, if privacy is an issue and you need to keep as quiet as possible, then these little amp plugs are perfect. Or conversely, if you're in a noisy environment, and again using closed headphones or earplugs, again this will do the trick for you. Now, a nice touch, should weather permit, if you want to sit out in your garden, if you've got one, or the local park, again, perfect. In fact, the list of places that you can use these little amp plugs is really down to your own imagination. So I hope that's been of some help. And if you're considering something like this that's portable, do think about subscribing, hit the bell to get notifications, like and share. As always, it really does help the channel. Do check out my Guitar Channel playlist, which covers my journey back to playing and recording guitar after a 40-year break. So whether you're a newcomer, an ongoing player, or like me, an old hand returning to guitar playing, I always take time to engage with folks who take time to comment. So until next time, the journey continues. Do take care.